Okay, it'll be time to do the clamp up again. And you can see I'm a chef, not a tradie. So we've got a Stone Stomper delivered. I'm going to see how we go, fitting it onto the back of the 200 series here. So yeah, just see how long it takes. It looks like everything's here, including in the instructions. My wife reckons I should read them first. There we go. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the way this came packaged. No way anything's gonna break there. Wrapped up really well. Here, got instructions. They've even given me rubber tubing for the weight distribution hitch if I happen to need that. And around the back here we've got a full set of instructions. So it's set up for different hitches you can use for application there. It's a very comprehensive instruction here. So anyway, we'll put that up here, and if all else fails, so read the instructions. So all good. Let's have a look at this thing now. Now, one thing they did mention that you need under here, 40mm clearance, 40mm clearance from there to there. Okay, what I may not have allowed for, if I can get a decent look at this, there is, as you can see, this bit going up here, there is this weld here, which I did not allow for. So that's another 2 or 3 mil sticking up there, and because of the nature of having a rear wheel carrier on here, I've got to have this thing inverted. I'll show you in a second. So in a lot of setups, this would be sitting up this way, so easy. Don't have to worry so much about your 40mm underneath, but obviously with a rear wheel carrier, that can't happen. So I've got to turn the thing around, have it inverted. This is a bit hard to do with one hand, but as you can see, without that extra, without the 40mm underneath, it's going to be a bit hard to get this to work. To get that bolt through there. So I need to do, I'm thinking of taking a bit of a notch out of the where that brace is there, taking a bit of a notch out of the Stone Stomper, and see if that'll fix the issue of not being able to get that bolt all the way through. See how we go. I've just put a couple of these bits of angle iron on here. Just clamp them on just to protect the canvas while we're grinding there. So let's see. First off, we cut a little notch out of here. Let's see if that works. So we've had the grinder onto this, and we've taken a bit of a notch out of there. So hopefully that will give us the 40 mils required to get this bolt through. Let's have a look. Looks like it's going to work there. So yes, you can see that does go through there now. And only issue I have now, I think, is I need really to get up higher to be able to plug my Anderson plugs in. And so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Got to be able to hook it up to the trailer. So what we might do is try and get it up to this next bolt here, bolt hole, and I'm thinking we'll take slice off the back of this to be able to lift it up further. We'd previously taken this little notch out of the back here, which didn't quite give us enough clearance. So turning around, we've taken a few mil off the back here, so with the grinder, taken a decent amount off there to give us more of an angle there, so that should all work. So we got that one in easy. You can see now in here, so I've reduced the amount of from 40 mil down to whatever it is, about 35 I think there. See how that works now. See if that'll go up to the next bolt. And you can see now with that slice off the back of there, this will lift all the way up and give us that extra height we needed, so we can get the bolt through there. Easy peasy. And there's even a bit of play there, so might get a bit of a spacer or something and put under there. So maybe back to the grinder and we'll see what we can do there. And Bob again, he's cut out a bit of angle here, and we'll just slide that underneath. So you can see now with that bracket in there, there's not as much movement up and down. That'll just hold it there a bit firmer. Once the bolt's done up, should be nice and snug. There's always going to be a bit of movement with the hitch, so it's always going to move a little bit even once that's done up. Now, because these Anderson plugs were right up against the Stone Stomper bar here, I'll have a look underneath. I've actually been back to guest all drive, and I've put some spacers in there just to we don't use that red Anderson plug. So as you can see, the blue one will easily clear the Stone Stomper. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge getting in here with the D-shackles for the chains from the caravan, but won't be too hard. And we've also under here on this side had this side lowered as well. Spacers, as you can see, put in there for the trailer plug. There we go. And the grey Anderson plug. So I've got plenty of clearance now there to connect those up. Howdy folks, I've decided to press record on the camera this time. So I'll just go through what we've done here, because was a bit hard recording before with one hand and trying to manipulate this Stone Stomper around with the other. So I'm just going to run through what I actually did here in the end. So going back to the problem was down here, they did request a 40mm clearance Stone Stomper. So that's my fault that I didn't allow for a weld under there, which is probably about 3mm goes into there. And obviously you can't be modifying this. So obviously the thing to do was to modify the Stone Stomper. We started off with taking this little notch out of here, which in hindsight maybe we didn't need to do, because that didn't give us the clearance to be able to get the bolts through anyway. What if we take a slice off the back here, which was Bob helped us out with the grinder, and we took a big slice off the back of this, so that reduced the amount here of clearance we needed from 40mm down to I guess about 35 or something. So that then allowed us to get to this bottom bolt hole, which gave us a bit more clearance, but it was still a bit tight with the Anderson plug would pretty much be sitting against the bar. And if you've always got movement with this hitch, that's you know, driving along towing a caravan, it's going to be bouncing around a bit anyway, so you have to allow for a bit of movement in the Stone Stomper. Anyway, the next thing Bob got this bit of bracket here, bit of angle iron, and we just place that here so it's not going to slide out with the angle there, and that gave us a bit of a firmer grip on here, so a little bit less movement. So still, when we had a look at the Anderson plugs, as I said, it was just not quite enough clearance. So ended up going back to David Guest at Guest 4-Wheel Drive in Alphington there, and he was able to put some spacers under here, and that has lowered the plugs so they're, you know, got plenty of clearance now on both sides. So that should have solved that problem. So you've got these anti-rattle hitch shims. Open up these shims and see if I need the whole lot or just the angle. So you've got your different thicknesses here, 2mm for that one, and these are just 1mm thick each. So I might not need them all, but we can put that one in first. As you see, it's got the lips on here, so it's not going to fall out. Put them over the side and just test this out. You can see the shim in there. That's the 2mm one. I couldn't get the 1mm one in as well. It's a bit tight. I'm thinking next time I take this off, I might get a bit of, got some paint and just sand that back a bit there where it's starting to rust, and give it a little bit of a paint there. Anyway, it's definitely has helped. So Probably worth it for the, I think it was around about $35 for the shims, stainless steel, so they should last quite a while. She looks pretty good there with the Stone Stomper on. You can still see the lights and everything. And it comes with these sleeves you can put on when you're driving around town. They just roll up and tuck into there, so nice and neat. All good, got to be happy with that. Cheers. So this little extra instruction was in with the Stone Stomper, just to make sure you do the shackles up with pliers. That's these little things here. So make sure we do follow the instructions on that. These are the brackets here that two of those to connect to the trail, or to caravan in our case, and we'll go to the cross member on that. So I've got two of those. That came with these soft tappers here, and even came with a bit here to go in your drill. Got even a magnet inside there, so that should make life pretty easy. We'll just show you the Stone Stomper laid out. It's about the cleanest you'll probably ever see it. She looks very well made and pretty heavy duty, and got ripstop mesh on here. These the connections to go to the car look very very strong, good quality. You got these, shouldn't be too much of a hassle to hook those up. There's a bungee here to clip on over the toe ball, and you just have to adjust the knot here to suit for the length. So I'll say it's about the cleanest you'll ever see it, so take a look. Alright, here we go. So the next step with a Stone Stomper is attaching it to the caravan. First off, I've got these clamps here that I'm going to screw onto here, but they don't want to go outside the caravan, so I'll just clamp those on first and then hook the Stone Stomper up to make sure it's taut before I start screwing holes in the caravan. So I've just got these brackets clamped on there at the moment. I'll go around to the other side, there's a bit more space around there, and then I'll hook up the Stone Stomper to the end here and just see, make sure that's gonna reach before I start drilling holes. So I've got the bracket clamped on here. Just gonna hook the Stone Stomper on. Once I've done this properly, I'll get a pair of pliers and tighten that up. That's where we're at the moment on this side. Now get this one out as well. It's a bit of a stretch, so we'll see how we go with this. It's definitely hooked up under there. It's looking fairly tight across there. We'll just have a look at that. I think that's going to be all good there once it's connected to the caravan. So I'm just climbing under the caravan here, and I can just show you where the center tie is. Basically, you need to take this clip out here and feed this end through, get it to a tension that you want, just tie a knot in here, and then you'll be able to pull it through and connect this one back up. Yeah, I'll just show you how this works under here. Basically, you just got to take this off, feed it through, and get it out. There's a bit of a tight fit there. You can go over with the cable. Basically, you're getting into here where you think it's about right. Tie tie a bit of a knot in that, and where you think that you can just feed it over. I need longer arms for this, and you'll be able to hook that back. I think it's a bit tight there, but hook that back in through the hole there. Just loosen that off a bit. Somewhere there. I'm not going to put this on now. Well, I'm not going to leave this on because I need to still connect up the Stone Stomper. It's a bit fiddly here when you're lying underneath the caravan. There we go, so it'll end up looking something like that. I've kind of brought this bracket out to about the edge of the van there, and sort of made sure it's sort of relatively level through here, just by eye, just having a little bit of look there. Always a bit nervous about drilling into our, or what's still relatively new for us, caravan. So here goes, we'll see how we go. We'll get a couple in there and then take the clamp off. So I'll start with one at the end. We've got 4 screws they've given us for here, so let's go, see what happens. And once it bites, it certainly gets done quick. I reckon we're all good to take the clamp off now. Get these other last 2 in. I did put the handle on the drill after it took a bit longer than I expected last time, so let's go with the first one. Now these are the instructions I did read. Make sure you do this with a pair of pliers. That's all good. And it's got a cable tie as well, just for extra, just in case that ever comes off. Let's put that through. I'd get quite a small cable tie to fit through the hole there, so we'll just go around the tie there, rather than try and get it through this eyelet there. So Stone Stompers done. We're going to hook it up just to show you how that's done, the process. We've backed the car up, hooked the caravan on, taken the jockey wheel off. We just got to do up the bracket there, take the handbrake off and hook it up. So just bear with us while we get this sorted. I'll do this up first so I don't forget. For the jockey wheel. These were an optional extra. I think it's worth the $60. So you drive around.
Oh, look how dirty it is on the back.
Yeah, yum. So look how dirty they are. Didn't wash my car very well yesterday, did I?
No. My car.
Okay. So anyway. As I say, always cross your chains So if for some reason this does come off, you've got a cradle for this to land in.
Are you going to give him a lesson on
No.
chains?
Yeah. We've got the Anderson plugs galore. The blue one over here. Cover on it. Now, I'll try and do this from this side. Normally I'd come around at the trail safe. The camera. Put the sleeve back over so it doesn't get too dirty. Clips, easy enough to open up. And if you look into here, there's just clip on there, make sure they're fully clipped on. So we've got 3 of them along here. Just make sure they're fully done up. And one at the end here. So that's that part of it done. I'll come around the other side now. Great way. When you're driving along, these are not like mud flaps as such. They actually blow back in the wind, so your cables go underneath. And yeah, so it's under the misconception that I'd have to put holes in here to put the Anderson plugs and stuff through, but no, you don't, because they blow back. And up the straps. Make sure that's on properly.
Uh-oh. You just locked the car.
Just locked the car with my keys in my pocket.
Yeah, you've probably set the alarm on for the... Better check that as well.
Caravan.
Otherwise we won't be going anywhere.
Okay. So that's that part done. Now there is, which I could have done first, there's a little strap over here that would have been, it just goes around the table, which I should have put that on first before I did this up. So maybe I'll just redo this. My arms aren't long enough to reach. Otherwise. Well, that just goes round. Clips on this clip here. So it doesn't have to be tight. It's just to hold these corners up. And no, I will take the handbrake off while I can reach. Done. Last clip.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now we've got an optional extra. This here, this tube. Let's go through the slots. Go through the other side. It's just to hold this up off the road. If you're on dirt roads or whatever, it's not dragging on the ground. So just feed that through there. And that's it. Not too hard. We've only done it a couple of times, so we'll get quicker. And
so overall, your experience with the Stone Stomper, from ordering it to getting it to amending it to fitting it, what do you think?
Well, so far so good. We haven't been on any dirt roads yet, but it's, as you can see, it looks a bit harder to hook up when you're filming it, but it doesn't take that much. Once we get on the dirt roads, I'm sure it's going to protect I'm confident it'll protect the front of the caravan,
What about the back of the car?
and it'll stop stones bouncing off the caravan. And sometimes can happen with a stone guard. Stones can bounce off the stone guard and back through your back window of your car. So
Right. Yeah.
that's not an uncommon thing to happen. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I would highly recommend them. We're not affiliated with them at all. Yeah, if you can subscribe, like the video if you like it, and we'll see you next week, Friday after 7 o'clock.